Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with My Villain Academia. Last time on My Villain Academia, we had My Villain Academia, where we cut over to Tomura Shigaraki and the League of Villains and how they had to convince Gigantomachia to basically accept Shigaraki as the new leader. We also got a chit-chat with the Doctor about, basically how to convince him. The Doctor tested Shigaraki a bit, but basically said, yeah, I was going to help you anyway. Just needed to test you. Anyway, the real test, like I said, is getting Gigantomachia to work with us. However, he does not like Tomura Shigaraki, so they've been fighting for a month and a half. Suddenly, the League gets a call from the Meta Liberation Army, who wants to kill them so that they can go on TV and be like, we killed the League of Villains, and now we want to do whatever the hell the Meta Liberation Army does. I assume liberating metas. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comments, so let's just go ahead and get right into this episode so that my voice can start working and I can form full sentences. Let's just go. Here we go. This is some heavy shit, man. This is some heavy shit. Everyone's fucking leveling up, though. Jesus. And by everyone, I mean two people. But, you know. People are leveling up. People are fighting their matches. People are having existential crises. People are having flashbacks. It's just fucking... It's just heavy, man. This shit is fucking heavy. I don't know why this feels like 1,000 times heavier than, like, Camino Ward. But I mean, well, I guess we should be pretty used to heavy shit by now, you know? Between Stain, Camino Ward, the Shie Hasaikai. I guess it's just that it's been a while, you know? It's been a while, because after the Shie Hasaikai, we got the UA Festival, and then after that, we got the joint training arc, so... Okay. I said this in my most recent Attack on Titan reaction, but I'm not going to be in a funk about these episodes, which I kind of get to. I do kind of get in a funk with some of these heavy fucking episodes, and I'm watching a lot of heavy shit right now. I'm also watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which, God bless JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's a nice little palate cleanser after shit like this. Okay, are we fucking leading up to a full fucking Shigaraki backstory? Because that's just gonna be fucking sad. It's gonna be sad as shit, you know? So, okay, we have to go in order. So, Destro, older than I realized. So, Destro is way older than I realized he is. Now, they didn't give an exact date. Then again, they never give exact dates on this show. But it was back in the day, back when, Meta Power started, and Destro created this army and to liberate metahumans. Literally liberate them. Let them use their powers however they want. No suppression. Which, I mean, that's always been the interesting thing about My Hero Academia. Since we learned about the origins of quirks and stuff. Pretty much from when we learned about All for One, The interesting thing is, it's so X-Men, X-Men is the first thing that comes to mind, but the whole thing of, suddenly there are mutants and everything, and they have these powers, and we gotta get rid of them mutants and stuff, and, the metahuman, the mutant cure, the mutant cure and stuff like that. But I've always loved, and it's still true today, I still love how that's all lore for My Hero Academia, My Hero Academia takes place long after that's all finished, Now it's like, no, there are more, metahumans than there are normal people, They say 80% of the population now has a quirk, which is pretty crazy. But back in the day was a different story. And Destro created that army. However, he was eventually defeated by the government. But, unbeknownst to him, he had an heir. He did have a child. So, presumably then, the new commander, Re-Destro, is a descendant of the original Destro. By the way, every time this dude shows up, he never has the voice I expect him to have. With his crazy hair and his really long nose. I always expect him to show up and be like, "Yeah, see, I'm going to liberate the metas." But he has such a deep voice and stuff. It's so crazy, Did we look him up? I feel like we looked him up last episode, but I don't remember. Did I? I think I did. Was it... Isn't he also voiced by Present Mike, I think? Or am I crazy? I guess we could look him up again, but I don't know. That's alright. I think that was it. But yeah, it's every time he shows up, it's a great voice. It's honestly really good. But the character design of him, I always just expect him, especially because he has such a defined nose, that I always expect him to be a bit more nasally. And I don't know why I always also sort of expecting, yeah, see, I'm gonna defeat you, Shigaraki, yeah. Expect him to sound like Skeletor, honestly. Anyway, now we're in Deika, which is interesting because, we've had, for quite a while, for a decent amount of episodes, this whole thing, shit goes down in Deika City, which I will say, it's kind of strange going through these episodes now because, we know what happens. I guess we probably would have known what would have happened. It's not like, oh, well, if this was before all that stuff, then maybe Shigaraki dies or something. We would have never thought that, but we kind of know how this ends. The League of Villains wins, and from what it seems, takes over the Meta Liberation Army, So, that's the thing. We kind of already know how this ends, but we don't know how evolved the characters get from this. So, there's that. But yeah, so that's definitely... Now, I know this arc is flipped from the manga. I did hear that, where this arc took place, it was in the manga before the Endeavor Agency arc. Which is curious that they ended up with this, that they ended up swapping this, So yeah, that's pretty strange that they would end up doing that. But still, I'm getting a lot out of this, I like how how Re-Destro talks about, the fact that they are rationing their Nomus, Yes, they do have the one high-end Nomu, but they don't have a lot going for them, So, I did like that. That does make sense, But what the Liberation Army is not counting on is Gigantomachia. Of course, the League has to hold out for an hour and 40 minutes until he wakes up and then has to get to Deika City. And we didn't hear anything about Gigantomachia at Deika City. All we know, the news just says, oh, it's a riot of 20 people or so. Which is interesting, but the only thing we ever saw from Deika City was the ending where Shigaraki was there, That's all we saw, so, I don't know, there is still a lot to fill in, a lot of gaps to fill in. We got Toga versus Kizuki, which was pretty interesting. So, her quirk, I swear this is... if any of you watch my JoJo reactions, I'm pretty sure that this is like a stand in the future that can just make shit explode, Don't quote me on that, I'm not quite there yet, but I think that's a stand coming up, but we won't talk about it anymore. But basically, she can just make shit explode. I want to see her fucking fight Bakugo, you know? But yeah, so, and she also wants to do these interviews and stuff, which, hey, interesting shit about Toga, you know? Interesting shit with her backstory and how, you know, because of her quirk, she was always fascinated by blood, you know? Which, I mean, she's fascinated by blood, but yeah, it's just sort of interesting, you know, because we also always, you know, I have seen people say it's like, well, how did Stain discover his quirk and stuff? I mean, you also wonder, how did Toga discover her quirk? How did she first drink blood and then she could turn into someone, you know? There's a question, but yeah, so that's the thing, like, how did they discover this quirk? But because she had this quirk that dealt with blood, that's why she was so fascinated with blood. But it kind of made her a sort of an outcast, you know? But she never really felt like that, you know? They said, oh, she's a demon child and stuff. It really just seems like she wasn't given good counseling or parenting. I mean, the obsession with blood, I mean, see, okay, yes, is drinking the blood of a bird weird? Yes. You know what's really bad, though, is drinking, you know, stabbing one of her classmates and then drinking their blood. But that could... it's weird to say that could have been managed. Like, yes, if she's obsessed with blood, that's one thing, but as long as you instill the value of don't fucking stab someone and then just start drinking their blood, it could have worked. But no, her parents did not instill that in her, and then she had to go AWOL and eventually met up with the League. So, but that was interesting, and honestly, it's very interesting to hear about, the Meta Liberation Army, quite honestly, is trying to recruit them, you know? That's the thing. They're honestly trying to recruit them. Like, hey, you know, your meta abilities were suppressed. Your meta abilities were suppressed. If you join us, you won't have to deal with that anymore, you know? Which is interesting, you know? It's interesting. And now, I don't know if... I mean, they basically said this for Toga and Twice. They haven't said anything else. We don't know if they're, like, trying to recruit Shigaraki or anything. But, although with his fucking meta ability, Jesus Christ. Although he hasn't really dealt with the suppression. Look, it's a whole thing with Shigaraki. All for One is involved. It's a whole fucking thing. Anyway. But yeah, just this whole thing of, like, they're trying to honestly recruit them, which is very interesting. But, I mean, okay, so the whole thing of, you know, why Toga basically doesn't do that, you know? I'm gonna look at that again real quick.
You may kiss someone you like, but my way is different. I suck the blood of those I love. Don't you dare feel bad for me! It's your reserve of blood. Oh, I think I'm tearing up.
I mean, okay, so that kind of makes sense. Just don't take pity on me, you know? I guess, honestly, yeah, it's that if you could technically say, like, well, she's an outcast, and it's like, yes, she is an outcast, but at the same time, she's okay with that. She's okay with this. She's okay with her life. She doesn't need the Meta Liberation Army to be happy. She already is. And that's just fucking crazy that she evolves right there. That she actually copied her quirk as well as her appearance. So basically, fuck him. They don't need him. I guess that's it. Anyway. So yeah. So she leveled up. She can actually copy someone's quirk as well. making her a different Monoma. Meanwhile, Shigaraki... Hold on. Shigaraki out here having flashbacks. Shigaraki out here having flashbacks, finding a picture of Nana Shimura and presumably her son, his father. What was his name? Well, I think it was Kotaro. I think we made a Jotaro joke last episode. Kotaro Jujo. So he finds this picture.
If you're gonna show me a memory, show me all of it.
I like how he gets frustrated at his own memory.
It's like a corrupted stream. Oh, great. Now I feel sick.
Okay, so presumably that was his sister, I guess? They did show a young girl last episode who looked a hell of a lot like Shimura, honestly, just as a young girl. So maybe that was his sister, and he fucking killed her by accident, I guess. And that's, yeah, he feels sick. But with that memory, his quirk levels up. His decay gets stronger, and he can just take out 20 people all bunched together. Shit. That is crazy. Yeah, so there's... Alright, between that and what we had last episode, I think we're definitely gearing up for full what the fuck happened to Shigaraki. What happened to Tenko Shimura. It's gonna be fucking sad as shit. Ugh. So that's gonna be fucking sad. What the fuck else? Dabi is dealing with an ice guy, some sort of Eskimo, and a guy who can control ice, which is interesting. And Dabi's flames are not quite enough to deal with this guy. Who knows? Maybe, I mean, I know we have the theory of him being Toya Todoroki. It'd be hilarious if he wasn't Toya Todoroki, but then he just figured out the Flashfire Fist anyway. Like, that'd be fucking hilarious. Meanwhile, Twice is having a breakdown, and then this guy, did he find other versions, or did he make people to look like Twice? I don't know what the fuck is happening there, but yeah. Basically, it's an all-out fucking brawl here over at Deika City. Shit is going down right now. And where will it go down from here? More sad shit? Probably. Probably more sad shit. I mean, it's a League of fucking Villains. We kind of always knew that shit would get sad, but I mean, Christ, a full episode without any Midoriya or anything is like, Jesus Christ. I want to say, like, oh, remember the happy times of this show, but I mean, shit happens like this. Shows need to get serious, and this is good. All this shit is really good. Christ, it's a fucking downer, though. This shit is such a downer, and if I wasn't watching other shows that were also downers, maybe it wouldn't affect me this much, or maybe it would. It probably would. I don't know. We're gearing up for a whole... You know what I think my problem... part of my problem with Shigaraki's backstory is because immediately, the first time they show Nana Shimura in this show, when they show that flashback of how she met young Toshinori, immediately I'm like, man, this girl's fucking cute. And now all of this is tragedy, and I'm like, well, damn it, I didn't want that cute girl to have tragedy. Even if she is dead by the time Tenko is born, because she died not long after passing on the quirk. Still, this whole family's a fucking tragedy. Jesus. I think that's part of it. Is because me and my stupid me being some jackass liking cute anime girls, now I'm attached, and it fucking sucks. God damn it. Of course, the Todoroki family is fucking tragic too, but I guess there's Fuyumi. Let this be a lesson, folks. Don't fall for anime girls. There could be a tragedy waiting, and it'll just make you fucking sad. And that's the life lesson we're going to end this video on. These discussions are getting stupider the more I go on, you know? They're getting stupider. I think it's because I'm trying to mask, you know, how sad this shit is. So I'm trying to be all jokey and entertaining, but I'm just a fucking moron. And with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all my Villain Academia reactions. There's also another video on screen if you want to go check that out as well. Also on screen, there's a subscribe button and a Patreon button, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.